And it's my great pleasure now to introduce to you our second guest speaker. This is what we call our inspirational moment. Our next speaker is like a ball of fun wrapped in chocolate and served with a bottle of red wine. Of course, I'm talking about Lenore Miller. Lenore is a small business coach. And when I say small business, I really mean a coach for the sole trader type of small business, like turnover of, say, $100,000. So what Lenore excels in, which is quite amazing, is that she could take a $100,000 sole trader and turn it into a $500,000. She's done it, and she does it well. And I'm actually so amazed by the things that she does and she tells me. Her life is inspirational. If you ever get a chance to sit down and chat to her, her life is quite amazing. She lives her life by principles and rules, and it's a night overriding. Lenore has realistic fees as well. This is more I talk to her about as well. Lenore, she's very affordable for the sole trader market. She offers realistic and achievable outcomes for the business owner, and above all, is passionate about making people successful. I'm fortunate to call Lenore a friend, and I'm so glad and thankful that she's come on board as a sponsor for United Bookkeepers, and I'm also glad she's speaking tonight. Spring, Lenore, what more else?
I almost feel like I'm spoiling it by speaking now because that was so good. But it is really great to be back, although Dean said, "Are you speaking again?" Yeah, sorry. We all like Dean. So tonight is really, I'm not going to be giving a keynote presentation tonight. This is really more of a workshop. It's all about you and helping you get some, edgier outcomes in your business. And one of the things I was talking to Sue about tonight, which she was talking about someone's observation that they hear a lot, "I'm just a bookkeeper." Has anyone ever heard someone, of course no one in this room, say, "I'm just a bookkeeper, I'm just a mum, I'm just a dad, I'm just a something"? Truly. Julie last week, right? We've all heard that, and some of us have actually been guilty of it, but I'm not going to make you self-nominate. And unluckily, Julie, you're being dogged in.
Years ago.
Yeah. And so often we do that and we just detract from what we really have to offer. And so what I want to do tonight is help you embrace what it is that you really have to deliver to clients. Because I think a lot of us in the room are selling ourselves short when we go, who do you bookkeep with? Because I'm really inquisitive, and being a business coach, I'm always keen to find out what goes on in other people's business. And I'm saying, so who are your clients? What's your ideal client look like? Whatever. And mostly I get, I bookkeep for anybody. Now, you know what happens to me when someone says that to me? I have no idea who to refer to you. And I have to tell you, I'm the queen of referring. I am always linking people up. There's somebody here in the room that I, introduced to Sue, and she's come from Sydney to be here. So I'm the queen of referring. So when someone says, bookkeep for just anyone, I have no idea who to refer to you. But if you say to me, you know what, I am kick butt at helping not-for-profit organisations. Or you know what, I really love working with tradies. Their bookkeeping is always in such a mess, but I love cleaning it up. Obviously, I just dreamed that one up. So, if you tell me that, then the next tradie I meet, I'm going to go, you know what, you have to give Julie a call or someone a call. Because Julie actually did. What I did get when I went to Coffee Club recently, what I heard about is what everyone didn't like to do, and that's just as important as what you do like to do. So I've actually put some paper on the table tonight, so I'm going to get you to do some brainstorming around some of these things, because some of us struggle. And when I really start to delve and ask questions, someone goes from, I bookkeep for everybody, and then when we really hone it down, like tonight, I was chatting to someone and then I eventually said, actually your clients are all in the service industries. So that's a niche in its own, isn't it? So most of you, if I really had a chat with you and delved into what your clients look like, you'll have the majority of clients potentially in a sector. That doesn't mean you don't have people that fall outside of those. It just means that's predominantly who you deal with. And when you're networking or when someone says, hey, Kirsty, what do? You can go, Kirsty, sorry, I haven't got my glasses on. You can say, hey, You get to that age and you need glasses, and you know how it goes. And so, what was I? I've lost my train of thought now. And I say, what do you do? And you can articulately say to me, well, you know what? I help those tradies. You know that you like to take things to the shoebox, to the accountant. I help them get totally sorted out, and they can do what they do best, you know, and make more money or whatever that is. We'll create some more articulate ones than that. But then I know what you do. It makes it easier for you to then be out there. Because I don't know about you, but I've had times in my working career when I thought, oh, God, don't ask me what I do, don't ask me what I do, don't ask me what I do, because I didn't want to have to give that elevator pitch. Anyone ever been nervous about that? Or just me? Anyone who's ever been to anywhere where you have to introduce yourself and you go, oh, God, I know I'm just not going to say it right. Okay, and I've been there, I've done that, where I've just gone, oh, God, I just really don't know what to say about what it is that I do. So what we'd like to do is, you know, relieve that a bit, because that's going to get you more clients. So the first thing I'd like you to do, and you'll have a little present on the table, that ignite your business mojo candle, so that, you know, can light that and you can, you know, get your mojo happening for business. Unless you want to put it in the bedroom for ambience. So there's some paper on the table. I want you to grab some paper. Now, we're going to just do this fast and furious. Like, there's not going to be 3 days of talking for each activity. So what I want you to do is just on your table start brainstorming and writing down. You might want to do your own first about what are your clients that turn up in your business now. Now, if you're not a bookkeeper, can you do this as well? Do you have clients? Yes. You do origami? Great. No aeroplanes. Okay, so I want you to write down on the sheet in front of you what industries or what sectors your clients fall into. And see whether there's a bit of a pattern or trend. Oh, I thought about paper but not pens, sorry. Okay, so maybe you can appoint a scribe at your table. If you don't have enough pens, I didn't think about that. If you're the sad one with the pen, I bet you get the job of scribing. Okay, you've got 60 seconds. Quick, write a list. No pressure. Yes, and this is real time. Who's on your books? Are they retailers? Are they service stations? Are they medical practice? Do you work for plumbers or, you know, mechanics or brothels? Who doesn't work for the brothels? I don't know. There you go. I had a friend who did all the legals for the brothels in town.
For a company that's solely
Maybe you do bookwork for retail outlets. Maybe you do bookwork for service type industries. Maybe you even have another list of the clients that you never want to work with. Someone told me they didn't want to do any bookwork for car yards, for example. People that can't pay, it's not on this, right? So we've got 30 seconds left. So try and largely work with who you do want to work with or who is on your book. People get so excited about the negative ones, don't they? Okay, time's up. So, let's have 3 ideas from each table, and maybe the person next to the scribe can read them out. The scribe shouldn't have to do everything. Hopefully the person next to the scribe has their glasses. So Rhonda, what have you got?
retail, service, and
So retail, is everyone listening? Retail, service and health. Are they 3 niches?
yeah.
For businesses? Cool. Next table.
Professional, medical, and childcare.
Yep, professional, medical and childcare. Okay, cool. This table?
With the birthday.
And you guys got things.
So they think because it's their birthday they don't have to work. I'm speaking. Hello. So you get to work. And making plans. So what have you girls got?
You didn't tell me anything wrong. What did you want to write?
Okay, they lose. What about the table at the back here? What have you got? What kind of sectors do you have?
I've got IT.
Yep.
Not-for-profits. Cafe.
Not-for-profits and cafes, so 3 other different sectors. And what have you guys got? Sorry? Same as what you've just had, nothing else? And wholesalers. Okay, so you can see there are quite, when you say, I just bookkeep for any business, there's a lot of variety in businesses, aren't there? So when you think about your particular practice, you think that there's a bit of a theme happening. You might have variety, but is there a theme? Who thinks they've got a theme? You've got a theme, and you used to, not so much anymore. Excellent. Okay. So, do you know what the problem is? Why do people come to you for bookkeeping services? Because you're bloody good. Yep, okay. Why else do people come to you for bookkeeping services? Because they can't do them themselves? They're not interested in it? They have a need, but what is their need? So what's their pain?
Compliance.
They're time poor? Compliance? Yeah, they don't have a clue about debits and credits. Yep. But if I was coming to you, I probably wouldn't come to you and go, oh my God, I really, can you relieve me of my debits and credits? Because I don't even know what they are. Am I? I'm going to come to you and go, oh God, every bath time I'm so stressed. I'm always late. That's my pain, right? I have to comply. But I don't talk about it in that way. I talk about what a pain in the butt is it for me, don't I? So that's the stuff that you want to talk about. So when you're having your elevator pitch, when you're talking about that, you want to actually use something about that pain in there. So you might have, if I can read without my glass, there it is. So you might say, I help sole traders who are overwhelmed by their bookwork to free up their time so they can focus on generating more money in their business. Would that work? Because they're overwhelmed, or there's some kind of pain happening there. And if I hear that, and I'm that sole trader, I'm going, oh my God, that's so me. Can you take away my pain? Who's ever looked for someone else to take away their pain, provide the service? Wine? So you go to the bottle shop. Well, what kind of things do we go to look for solutions for our problems? Zumba? To get rid of the joint pain? What other things do we go to? Where do we go to a professional to get rid of some issue that we have? Tax returns, solicitors, doctors. So there's, sorry? Mechanics. Yeah, I don't want to tinker under the bonnet of my car. What was that?
Masseuse.
A masseuse. So we go to lots of different places to have our needs met, and there are other people out there looking for us to take away their pain. See, some of us don't understand why you love to do bookwork. There are some people that are going, numbers? You're crazy?
Yeah.
But for you guys are going, this is pretty cool, it's easy. Why wouldn't you do this yourself? All right, so you want to be the solution to someone else's pain. But you want to be able to articulate that, and you want to be able to do it confidently. So when you're networking and someone says, what do? You want to go, just a bookkeeper? Because that's not really very inspiring, is it? And I don't know whether you can get rid of my pain. Because I don't know what kind of bookkeeper you are. You might be the bookkeeper that specialises in getting debtors and creditors under control. You might be the bookkeeper that will go in and make those calls. I don't know. Do any of you do that? Yeah. And so that kind of thing is a pain in the butt to business owners. They're scared to ring their clients and ask for money. So if they can get a third party to do that, that relieves them of a lot of pain. And not only the pain of making the call, but the pain of not having enough money to pay the wages for their staff. So you guys have this awesome service. We've got to tell people about it. Who'd like some more clients? Maybe I'm talking to the wrong people. Who'd like more clients? Okay, talking to the right room. Because the thing is, you have to let people know that you're there and you want to help them. And that you're exactly the right person to relieve them of that pain that they're experiencing. I have a pain which is housework. And I have struggled to find a cleaner. If anyone knows a good cleaner, please, I would love a referral. There you go. Because no one does it like I want them to do my housework. I don't clean under things. I can clean around things. So when they come, I still have the pain because I still have dust under my lounge. So that's the thing. I want someone to solve that problem. but I'm not meeting anyone who does. So there are other people that are out there that want their pain solved, and you're the solution. So, where are we up to? Okay, so we've talked about some of the problems. So when you write an elevator pitch, you want to make it simple, because otherwise you won't remember it. And you don't want it too long because it goes on forever. And I'm going to give you a couple of tips. Firstly, my first tip is, if you're in a conversation with someone, I really like to ask them what they do first, because then I can talk about what I do in relation to what they've said to me. Does that make sense? So then I know whether they're a potential client or not, and then I can know what their pain is. They talk about their business and what they do, and I go, oh, cool, I work with clients like you all the time, and this is what I do with them. It's cool if you can go first. If you, you can ask first. But if you can't and they ask you first, you've got to have something just short and succinct that starts the conversation, and be prepared that they're going to go, oh, wow, and how do you do that? And who do you do that for? And do you come to my place, or do I come to you? And, they're probably going to ask about price because that's all they know. Yeah. And the great response, who's had that when they go, and how much does it cost? So the great response to that is, yeah, that's great, I can talk to you about price, but first can I ask you a few more questions about what it is that you need? Because you don't know how to price that service yet, do you? Until you know. And also people then will make a decision on price and not knowing what you're going to deliver. So you want to talk more about then, what is it? Oh, great. What is it that you need to do? Do you need me to be ringing the creditors? Do you need me to, I don't know, what other things? Do you want me to pay the wages? Do you want me to come once a month, once a week, once a quarter? So you start asking more questions, and what does that do? Builds rapport. It also alerts them to all the things you can do for them that they might not have known you could. Because they might not know someone could come in every week and pay their wages, or that someone might ring up their debtors for them. They might not know that you can do all of those things. Does that make sense? Because we take it for granted. We know what we do in our business, and we think everyone else knows. But they don't. They tend not to know. So, I've got a little handout. What I want to get you to do is start playing with writing a little quick elevator pitch of your own. Now, we've got issues with pens though, don't we? See, are you just tricking that you don't have a pen in your bag so you don't have to do it? What was that? Oh, that's right. I don't think you can write it on a calculator. Now these handouts have, on the bottom of this handout, I hadn't realised, it actually says about the Regional Women's Conference. I printed them up and it was like, oh yeah, I should have changed that. I forgot that I'd used those at another conference. So let me apologise that it doesn't say Uniting Bookkeepers. So if we don't have pens, it's going to be a bit tricky for you to write your own. My plan was to get you all to quickly, to write a little one of your own that you could take away, because I'd like you to have something to take away that you can use straight away. So that tomorrow when someone asks you what you do in your business, you don't say, I'm just a bookkeeper. You say, hey, I work with tradespeople. Thank you. Thanks for the pen sharing. Okay, so here's a little. I've actually written a bookkeeping one down there just because I thought that would be helpful. And it just says, I help business owners. Now, where it says business owners, insert your niche. So it'd be like, I help sole traders, I help plumbers, I help tradies, I help doctors, medical practices, whatever your niche is. I help service providers. What were some of the others? I help healthcare professionals. I help daycare centres. I work with not-for-profits, whatever that is. And then who are? Insert pain after that. I've said overwhelmed. So what's the pain in your industry? So, I help tradies, and they could be overwhelmed as well. Are tradies overwhelmed with their bookwork? Or are they just ignoring it? I help tradies who are currently ignoring their bookwork and being nagged by their wife. Does that work? And you talk to the wife, and guess what? She'll employ you because she doesn't want to do it. So I help tradies who are being nagged by their wife to get their bookwork done, so that their wife no longer nags them and they've got more time to go and make more money or something. So you just want to have something and play with it. You could be playful like that. You could say, I help tradies whose wives are nagging the daylights out of them, get their bookwork under control. And you're going to get someone's attention, right? Who does work with tradies? Please feel free to do something cheeky like that. What else? What other industries? Let's play with some if we don't all have pens. Some of us do now. Who wants help with one? Who would like to have an elevator pitch and want some help? Yep. Volunteer. Okay, so what niche?
Tradespeople located in a specific area.
Located. So you want to say, I help tradespeople in the Northern Beaches. Is that right? So you would just insert that. And so what's their pain, Kathy?
Mostly they're disorganised.
Yeah, I help tradespeople in the Northern Beaches who are totally disorganised around their bookwork. To what? What do you help them do? What's the resolution of their pain?
It frees up their time so that they can go and do
Make money, do what they do best, do what they love. So it could be something like, I help tradies on the Northern Beaches. What was their pain again? Sorry. I help tradies on the Northern Beaches who are totally disorganised with their bookwork. Was that it?
Yeah, they're disorganised or fit.
Yeah, or who hate their bookwork. Or whatever that word is, use emotive language. I help tradies who hate their bookwork.
I'd rather spend time at the pub than doing my bookwork. Would you rather spend time at the pub? Or would you rather do your bookwork? For a tradie, where do they go over Friday afternoon?
I help tradies who want to go to the pub on Friday afternoon by doing their bookwork and freeing them up to have a beer with the boys.
Exactly.
So if you're talking to the guys, you say that. If you're talking to their wives, I wouldn't say that. Okay?
Would you like more money?
That's right. We take what, you know what, I help tradies' wives who are so cheesed off with their husband because they never get their bookwork done, get them out making more money and having their bookwork under control.
That's good.
Right. So can you see how you just want to make it conversational? You don't want to make it so that it's, too hard for you to remember. But have a bit of fun with it because people are going to respond to that, aren't they? Yeah. You meet a tradie in his, work blues or whatever they were, go, you know what? I help guys like you spend more time, get to go to Friday night to the pub. How's that sound? Oh, how do you do that? Yeah, I'd love to go to the pub more. Hey, hand your bookwork over to me. Blah, blah, blah. Who thinks that would work? Cool. Okay, who else wants some help? This is your opportunity to get some help and to take something away tonight. So you can be shy or you can just go, hey, I want some help. Professionals? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Who works with, did you hear that? So we're talking about professionals, architects, medical, that kind of professional area. So what do you think the professionals' pain are? Because you've got a whole room of people that can help you do this, and I'm sure there's someone else in the room that works in that niche. So what's the pain of the professional with their bookwork? They're really busy, so they're time poor. Yep. What else? What do they normally say to you? Who works with those people? What do they normally say?
Would you like to go and play golf on Wednesday?
Okay.
Well, gone are those days, really. There's still a few old.
But you could play on that fantasy of wanting to go, hey, the insurance guys play lots of golf, I've noticed.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, yes.
Professional people that they're talking about, do they have employees or are they doing it themselves? More sole trade, like smaller.
That are trying,
doing it themselves.
and so they're trying to be everything to everyone and not coping very well.
So they might have one, like admin support and all, but not specific booking.
So could you say to them, I can basically go around and spend more time on the business rather than the book?
Or you want to help them spend more time in their business than on it? Because actually doing your bookwork's kind of like an on your business task. Yeah, it's kind of in. Yeah. Yeah, help great. If that's a pain they have, if they don't think, yep, you could.
So while they're doing the books, they're not actually doing what's earning them the money. So if they're a professional person earning whatever.
$3.50 an hour or something. You're a solicitor in town. You could be charging out $3.50 an hour billable hours. Yeah, okay, there you go. So that's great. Okay, so what would that sound like? I help professionals who want to increase their billable hours by handing over their bookwork. Or that doesn't sound very sexy. How could we reword that?
Or how much time you spend on your books. Mm-hmm. That's your own billable hours.
Give it to me. So if you're going to introduce yourself though, someone says, hi, what do you do? And they're a doctor or a solicitor, what are you going to say? You're going to say, hey, I help people just like you. Do what?
Would you like to know your profit weekly?
Would you like to know your profit weekly? You want to have something that's going to get their attention and get them to ask more questions. So do you want to know your profit weekly, or do you want to make more money? Or do you want to know how to get more billable hours into your week?
They are money driven.
Yeah. So more billable hours is going to work. That was a great tip from down the front here. So, really? Well, they still have to get clients through the door, though, don't they? Number of patients. So you're gonna model this to whether they're.
It's about their profit line, isn't it? With medical, it's about how much are they going to earn, so that then they can go and do their other things. So it's about their bottom line.
It's about all our bottom line, isn't it? Isn't that why we all want more clients? Yeah, I'm with you.
No.
Yeah.
Bottom line is really.
He just knows how much money he's got on Friday afternoon when he goes to the pub.
It allows more time to build their business by increasing revenue. That's building a business is very important to them. They're just starting out, small first or something like that. And they will see have 2 or 3 other people working.
Absolutely. Okay.
Actually, only government whatever. But to actually increase that, to expand their business is another one.
Absolutely. I totally agree, but we need to then put that into something that grabs their attention.
Well, increase your revenue and in time increase.
Do they get excited when you say increase the revenue? I just want to know, if someone says to me, do you want to increase your revenue? I kind of go, oh yeah, sure. But it's not sexy. It's not like, it doesn't grab my attention in the way other words would. I don't know.
Anyway, so they know.
Well, that's an assumption. You know, I know people who are in those professions that are just struggling along like everyone else because they have lots of overheads and whatever. So let's get away from that. Let's get back to the job we're in here for, which is how do we sell ourselves to these people. So we're back to more money, billable hours, spending more time with your family. That is definitely, some guys, that's important too. Certainly women in that sector, and I'm generalising, but are often feeling the maternal guilt, and so that will really ring true to them. If you go on the family line, you've got to have had a conversation. So if you're just walking up to someone and you're going to assume it's about family, you're not sure whether they've got one or not, if you're talking to a professional. So you just need to be a little bit careful. So let's try and just get something succinct here. So I work with professionals who want to increase their billable hours. And it's short and succinct, and they'll go, who's the professionals in the room? Someone said that to you, what would you say? Yeah, and would you say, well, how are you going to help me do that? And then you can have a talk to them about their bookwork or their whatever. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So you've got to speak in their language. So billable hours, that's a great tip. Yeah. Would you like to be able to see more patients? Or would you like to be able to, for the right kind of people, increasing your bottom line? Would you like to be able to increase your bottom line? So you have to target it to the market. What else? Someone else who had their hand up. Does that help? Okay, good. Did you have your hand up for one?
Yeah. I've got a couple of IT comments. Now, because they're IT too, everything is open internet. It's very rare that you actually see them or speak to them. It's really hard, it's really hard to get introduced to other IT, like in the flesh.
In the flesh. Who works with IT clients? That is the other thing about getting clients. Who is the gatekeeper, or who owns those people? Do you mean IT people who are building websites and all that kind of stuff?
That's yeah.
Sorry?
Programs.
The public. So the thing is, when you're networking, you might be specifically talking to the person, Rhonda, who is the IT person or the professional that you want to speak to, or you might be generally networking going, hey, I work with IT people, blah, blah, blah. You talk to me. I actually know quite a lot of IT people. So you can see the differentiation. What you say if I'm actually the profession you're looking for, if I'm the IT person, is different to what you're going to say if you're just networking generally. So if you don't know who you're talking to and Julie says, hey, what do? You know what? I help IT people who just want to really focus on doing that IT thing, get their bookwork all under control. Hey, do you know anyone like that? Love an introduction or whatever. Does that make sense? Has anyone got something else that they want to think about, work on? Sorry?
You can do what you do best.
Yeah, absolutely. And so how are you going to convey that? So that's if you talk to the person themselves. And would that come after a bit of a conversation? Like you would have had a conversation then say, hey, I can take away your paperwork headaches. Yeah. Because you're not necessarily going to walk up to someone at a networking function and say, guess what, I can take away your paperwork headaches. And they go, actually, I work for Combank. So do you see, it's got to be relevant to your target market. So but you might be saying, hey, I work with professionals, blah, 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 and the person's from Combank Business Banking, and guess how many professional people they know. Does it make sense? So you want to have your elevator pitch that's about general networking when you generally bump into someone, when you go into, how often do you go into a store to do something or the bank or to some other service and they say to you, oh, and so what do you do? Who gets asked that? And what do you say? I'm a professional bookkeeper. Mm-hmm. But what if you said, you had your elevator pitch about your specific niche? Do you think they might know some people? So I'm going back to a professional bookkeeper is great, but it doesn't tell me who to send to you. It doesn't make me think of my friend Mary Jane, who is a doctor, or my friend Tom, who builds websites, or, do you see what I'm saying? Doesn't help me help you. Yes?
As opposed to what I would say, I'm a professional bookkeeper. I primarily deal with medical and restaurants. Mm-hmm. That's my area of expertise, is how I... And so they go, oh, right, do you do any others? And I go, oh, yeah, I do a lot of other ones, but I primarily work with those two because I know them and I enjoy working with them. But I can do anyone. So what do you do?
Yeah.
So you know what I mean?
And I would make it short like you do and go back and go, and so what do you do? Because you want to engage in conversation. Have you ever been somewhere and you ask someone what they do and half an hour later... Yeah. And you're all glazed over and they have no clue that you've actually logged out 28 minutes ago. So you don't want to be that person, right? You want to engage them in a conversation. Okay, so what I want to do is get you started down that path. And if you go away from here and don't do anything else with it and hear yourself next week go, the bookkeeper, then I hope you think about tonight and go, actually, I really should get something down pat. Because that will get you clients. When you start saying specifically what it is. When I started saying, hey, I work with micro business owners, I work with sole traders, I work with the smallest of businesses. They have usually under 5 employees, the majority of people I work with. Some have more. Obviously, I work with people who have 10 or 12, but the majority have 5 or less. That's a niche, right? When I say that to you, I bet you can think of a whole bunch of people who fit into that category. If I say I work with small business, who knows what the definition of small business is? Anyone up to 200 employees. That's not a niche, right? That's like a great gaping chasm. So when you start thinking about what you do, if you're someone that's going to work with like sole traders, did you know in the Hunter Valley 55% of businesses are sole traders? 55%. 24% have 4 or less employees. There is a lot of work for you out there. There's a lot of people out there struggling to do their bookwork and be everything in their business. If you've got 4 or less employees, I'm telling you, you're a one-man band trying to manage everything and everybody. There's a lot of business for you guys out there. So it's why I want to get you encouraged to come up with what's your target market and go after it. How many clients do you need? Maybe you only need half a dozen more. Maybe you need 2 more. But, give yourself the best chance of finding it when you're out there. Now, one of the other things that has anyone got any other questions or want help or some ideas even to take away and work with? Yes, no? Stunned. My God, don't pick on me. Well, it doesn't matter what you say. You just go, I'm a bookkeeper. Because you don't care whether they refer anyone or not. So, Dean, if you're in that lucky position...
I was trying to find a better word.
Oh, okay. So what else would you call it? I've been trying to think of a better word for coach for a long time too, but I haven't come up with one. But yeah, come up with something else. You can make anything up. You could give yourself, a really creative title. You could make anything up, Dean. Who's got an idea for Dean?
Secret agent.
007.
Chief Stirrer.
Dean 007.
Dean Ball. It's a bit like,
So, what I wanted to also highlight is how many of you are actually do other networking other than come here? Does anyone go to any other networking events? Okay. because I've been coming for quite a few months now, and so I've had the chance to speak to a lot of you and asked about all your different areas that you work in, and I've been keeping an eye out, going, okay, how would you meet more clients? How would you get known? I don't meet hardly any. I do a lot of networking, and I'm dropping all my paperwork on the floor. I do a lot of networking. I don't ever meet bookkeepers at networking, and guess who I hang out with when I network? Business owners. Lots of them. So I want to encourage you to maybe stick your toe in the water of some other networking. Janelle Gerard, who I think, she comes here on occasion from Design Change. Yeah. Janelle puts out the Networker. Is anyone on the Networker email list? Do you read it? Okay. I'm just asking because no one's putting up their hand to say that they go to any networking functions. And so when I looked through that, I thought, because I spoke to someone, I'm not sure whether the lady's here that I spoke to that works with not-for-profits. She was at the coffee morning. No, I don't think she's here. There's a not-for-profit networking function. So if you were the bookkeeper that looks after not-for-profits, wouldn't you go and you'd network there? Because guess what? Target market's there. There's a networking group for communicators. So they're people that do like PR and that kind of thing. If you want to work with some professional people, guess what? That would be a good place to go and network and be providing them with services. There's a whole bunch of business networks. If you prefer to work with women, go join some women's networks and get into those. What else do we have? Not-for-profit. Yeah, there's an IT one, sorry. There's also an internet marketers networking thing. It was on yesterday, I think. So there's another one. So start keeping an eye out for some of the networking things that go, where are these people hanging out? And the internet ones, they'll be off there talking all their boff and talk about internet stuff. You'll learn all kinds of interesting things in another language often. However, they want to spend all their time doing their internet stuff. They actually don't want to do their bookwork. So go along to something like that. So pick some networks that you can go along to. Practice a little spiel. Doesn't matter if you don't get it word perfect, because guess what? They won't know what you meant to say. And, it just gives you a go. But go hang out where the people are that you want to do business with. If you're someone who wants to do with retailers, we all have to shop. When you're out and about doing your shopping in your little strip shopping centres where there's lots of independent retailers, have a chat to them. Say, this is what I do. How do you manage your bookwork? And just be willing to talk about it. And so that's why I want to open this conversation about how you're going to talk about what it is that you do. So it doesn't matter where you are. You can meet someone in the loo. I've got a friend who does lots of business in the loo, in the ladies' loo, because there's always a lineup and people talk and she's a chatterer and she picks up clients in the bathroom at conferences. I wouldn't really choose it, but, she does. So just find places where you're comfortable to have a chat. Captive audience, I know boys don't get it, but there's always a line in the women's loo, isn't there? Yes. There was a line tonight. I ran upstairs and found the toilet up there. So there's also regular groups you can go to, like B&Is and stuff like that. But they're like a weekly group. You certainly get used to doing an elevator pitch if you're involved in something like B&I. That's for sure. So let me have a look. Who thinks they might try going along to a networking event? Cool. There's a few that I go to. So if you want to have a chat to me about where you think you might want to go, if I'm going, I'm happy to, buddy up with you and introduce you to a few people. So come have a talk to me. If you're going to one where you don't know anyone, just go make yourself known to someone when you get there. The organisers are usually pretty good. If you say, hey, I'm new, can you introduce me to a few people? And before long, you'll get to know a few people. So when I first come here, I didn't really know anyone. Well, Julie and Sue. But I'm shy, but I worked over my shyness, and now I know a lot of you. I know, I just thought I'd throw that in. Just to get you laughing, And I'm giving you a hard time about your elevator pitch. What other tips did I have? Biz Owners Group, Networkers Group, Communicators Network. I think that would be a good one. And I've actually got a friend who runs the Communicators Network, so I could probably do an intro there for you. Okay, so we've all got the blue form. Has anyone got any more questions, or what scares you about networking or having to say what it is that you do? Has anyone got anything they want to?
What scares me is paying the babysitting fees.
Do you need any more clients? So you don't need to go networking, unless you want the social outlet, Yeah. But what's the scary thing about networking?
Not knowing anybody there.
Sorry?
Not knowing anybody there in your morning.
Yeah, it's tricky. So could you buddy up with someone else? What kind of networking function do you think you might want to go to? You're not sure? Yeah. So when you come up with one, then start thinking about a strategy, because you don't want to make it terrifying for yourself. It is really tough to go into a room when you don't know anyone, and in all seriousness, because of what I do and because I'm often, I don't know anyone in rooms I go into, because I get hired to go speak and I'm the stranger, in a room full of very strange faces. Sometimes I'm just kind of go, yeah, it'd be nice if someone spoke to me, They talk to someone, they go, yeah, and wander off. It doesn't happen very often, but you need to have a strategy. So, and I'm happy to chat to you about strategy for stuff like that, or if you pick one to go to, happy to, if it's one to go to, happy to take you along. The other thing is take a friend, but don't cling to that friend the whole night and not talk to anyone else. Use the friend as a buffer and go together up to groups and go, hi, my name's Lenore and this is my friend Christy, and we're new here. What's your name? People are nice. If someone said that to you, what would you do? People are nice. They're going to be nice to you. Most people are lovely and they want to make you feel comfortable, because guess what? They've been the new person in the room too once. So I want to encourage you. So next month when I come along, please tell me your networking stories. Come and let me know. I'm happy to celebrate with you on that achievement of going along. And, in all seriousness, as I said, I do go to quite a few networking events. Let me know which ones you're going to. If I'm going to be there, I'll arrange to connect with you, okay? And introduce you around. Last thing, I think we're just about time. I think we've done well. Now, one thing that I was going to do today is a couple of weeks ago spoke at a women's conference, and I just put together this little offer, and it was just only for a really small group of people. And because I don't really discount my time, really. But what I decided was that I really wanted to make an offer to the bookkeepers tonight around the services that I provide. It's actually really like a fraction of the price of what you would pay, to really have a chunk of my time. But I've just put a package together with a book and a CD. If you've got it, you can give it to someone. And a consultation with me to really have a look at where you're up to in your business and what things that you could do to move yourself forward. It's only $67, and, it really is a small amount of money. But there's two reasons I want to do that. One is, as part of my sponsorship, I decided it'd be really cool to offer that service to all of you, and I'm happy to take up anyone who wants to take up the offer. I'll schedule a time, or we'll have a coaching session and really have a look at where you're up to, get some key things that you can do to take yourself forward in your business, because I really am committed to being here as a sponsor and supporting all of you to be successful. And the second reason is that you'll get to see what I'm like, and that I'm not so scary, and that I can do some cool stuff for businesses. And, perhaps some of your clients will need my services at some point. So I think a lot of you work with clients who are in my demographic. Would that be true? Cool. The other thing, actually, I promised Sue I would share with you is one of my recent clients, I was talking to Dean about this over dinner, came to me and I went, how much does it cost you to open your doors every day? I don't know. Okay, so how do you price your goods? So they sell products, right? How do you price your goods? I just get them in and I just add X amount on top of the cost of the good. So what about the cost of the rent, the phone, the wage for your part-time employee? This woman's a sole trader with a part-time employee, has had the business for 13 years and has never drawn a wage. Wow. Turnover of $150,000 and lost $5,000 last year. Okay? But a great potential in the business, right? But if you don't know what to do with your figures, and it's all very well for us because we're good at figures in this room, what happened was I said to her, okay, this is what I want you to do. Bring all your figures along to our next coaching session. These are the things I want you to look at. So we went through them all. We worked out how much cost of goods were, how much it costed to open up the doors, worked out that clearly she was losing money because why? She was underpricing her goods. We did one little tweak with her regular clients, and that's not all the other stuff she did. $15,000 that will make, in the last 12 months, $15,000. The difference between losing money and making money. So she would have gone from a $5,000 loss to a $10,000 profit, just on one little tiny thing that we tweaked that week. And she was like, oh, wow. I've always had these figures, Lenore, but I've never really known what to do with them. So that's the kind of thing, like $15,000 in, I spent 2 hours with her. We've got some systems in place so she'd go on a holiday. and she's added 15 grand to her bottom line, and we haven't even got started. So, and I get, Sue said, you have to tell them that tonight. And I guess I don't usually talk about my clients, I certainly don't name them. But that's the kind of thing that you can do if you've got another set of eyes that understands what's going on in their business and add some stuff in. And you would all see business owners that you go, what are they doing? Do you look at their figures and go, what are they doing? So if you've got anyone like that, I'm happy to have a chat to them. So I'm just going to hand these out. There's no pressure. If you want to take me up on it, it's cool. If you don't, that's cool too. Any other questions? Anyone want to head slap me for making them think about an elevator pitch? Lou, how are you going? I'm not sure that I've got enough there anyway, but anyway, got lots of pieces of paper. I know. There's way too much white paper in the world, don't you think? Have you got 3? What was it, sorry? Yeah, totally up to you, Lou. Yeah, I should just say thank you. Okay, and so before I go, I just want to say thank you for playing with me and for being willing to be uncomfortable, because I could actually see they're going, oh my God, don't pick on me. So hopefully I didn't pick on anyone that didn't want to be picked on. So, but thanks for playing with that, and I really hope that you take it out and do something with it. Just step a little tiny bit out of your comfort zone. See, you won't die if you go to a networking event. Most people are pretty nice. And let me know next month. I'll be here. Come and have a chat to me. And if you get a bit stuck, well, maybe we can unstick you. Excellent. Thank you.
Thank you, Lenore.